ana kila kumushinda. Umwejilinga wenkondo halume ya jabo aponye mfuti yawe. Aya wenda mutende wenda wayimina tukesa umana
mengi maya ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine utule wefu wengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine utule wefu tule wefu wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine utule wefu wengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine utule wefu.
Thank you very much. For one reason or another, we're interrupted. Just share the page again. And for those that logged out, you can come in again and let me see how we can connect to the other pages. We seem to be out on the other pages. Let me just resolve that quickly, but we are now live. Patrick, kama pages yaliambia off.
Chafina, ichichena chafina, chafinisha, ichichena chafina, chafina, ichichena chafina, chafinisha, ichichena chafina. Aya ifumu ya bebe, awe na ila lotu, yaya mukula lotu. Muchiri mushawa shani ala wamina wengi na pashipatarara iwe wamina wengi na pashipatarara Noma bari bintu binyichi Mwasala kusi aseo tulila Adada mulale muchibote ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine utule wefu wengi watusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine utule wefu tule wefu wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine utule wefu.
umumwakwenda na umfwila kasemo abati umopalipwe ana kila kumushinda. Umwejilinga wenkondo halume ya jabo aponye mfuti yawe. Aya wenda mutende wenda wayimina tukesa umana
mengi maya ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine utule wefu wengi watusha ichichena.
Thank you very much. For one reason or another, we were offline, I don't know, and we're discussing very, very important things, and just realized we were offline, and I had to be alerted when I checked on the messages. It wasn't the fault of your network. It's somehow, I don't know, with my system here. I'll invite, we had said this would be a short broadcast because we don't want to stay long. So I'm opening the phone lines. You can call on that line. I was emphasizing, let me give an example of the important things. The SEC confirmed they were investigating 4 cabinet ministers and 1 provincial minister. These have never been suspended by the president. These have never been arrested by the SEC because the president has not acted. We have the case from the documents of Dr. O'Brien Kaba, former board chair of the Anti-Corruption Commission. He has sworn some documents. There are some documents that are in a civil case where I think the former Director General, Tom Shamakamba, has sued the Daily Nation for defamation. So there are some documents that have been deposited in that court. And some of the facts, for example, that have been discussed by Dr. O'Brien Kaba are the cases that Shamakamba was dealing with. And he has cited the case of Director Thabo Kawana. He was director at the time who had received huge deposit in his account. He has cited the case of Marshal Mchende, the Solicitor General, where nothing was done. These officers have never been dealt with by the president. In fact, the president proceeded to promote Thabo Kawana as permanent secretary from director, where there are serious corruption allegations against him. Another example is the case of the deputy army commander. The SEC were closing in over that deal regarding Central Africa Republic Hospital, where Zambia and government, the funds are being channeled through government. And the deputy army commander at the time, who was director of operations, like the PS under those structure, was accused. The Financial Intelligence Center established that he had received money in his personal account, I think from Kenya. And when the SEC were about to pounce on him, he was elevated. He's now the Zambia Army commander and he's never been touched. There are numerous cases like that where the president actually rewards those people that are about to be arrested. But he uses the fight against corruption as a weapon, as a strong weapon against his political opponents. Just look at the number of officials that saved the previous government that are in court. He says you're on your own, there are no sacred cows. We know that is a lie. Because among them, ministers that have been under investigation is Honorable Sylvia Masebo. The president has never acted. He in fact just moved her to Ministry of Lands. Here we are. If it were not for the Americans who contribute up to $600 million of their taxpayers' money to the Zambian government, would not even be discussing this issue of corruption in the Ministry of Health. It is the cooperating partners that demanded accountability. And they moved in. They said, no, your Auditor General is not qualified to hold that office. He's above 60. Remember what our laws say. Our laws are very clear. The Auditor General, no matter how qualified you are, you cannot be an Auditor General if you are below the age of 45. Further, there is a ceiling. If you are above 60, you can be the Auditor General. It requires someone very serious, very qualified, very experienced, and the maturity of that age gap of between 45 and 60. Dr. Mwamba is over 60. Parliament refused when the president appointed him as Auditor General. I think State House had to withdraw his nomination. He has been Auditor General acting in that capacity for the last 3 years. The president loves weak people because then weak people can only do what he wants to do. You cannot trust the audits that are coming from the National Audit Office because the man who occupies the office is not qualified, and the president has failed to appoint a substantive Auditor General. So the donors were very, very clear They said, Mr. President, this audit will not be done by your Auditor General who's not qualified. It will be done by an independent firm. And this audit has been done by Price Waterhouse on behalf of the Auditor General. But what has happened is that the report has not been released to Parliament and hence to the public. It was just released to law enforcement agencies. What this does is the law enforcement agencies are under the hand of the president. Therefore, they will pick and choose who to punish and who to exclude. As we have seen in previous cases of Tabo Kawana, cited you with huge deposits, SEC are investigating him and the matter went quiet. Tabo Kawana was promoted. The deputy army commander, the SEC is about to close in on him. He's promoted, he's now your Zambia army commander. And there are cases and cases like that. The fight against corruption is a sham. It's being used as a whip. It's being used as a weapon against political opponents. The president will not engage in transparency, in procurement processes that require that he's fighting corruption. For example, he would not be engaged in direct bidding. He will not be engaged in single sourcing. But that has been the mode of procurement under major procurements in government. And remember, government is spending up to almost 2.5 billion dollars a year in goods and services. And we heard from Transparency International that $500 million of that money is routinely looted from that public procurement. Why? Because we use methods that are not clear. Today you saw the diggers in the last 2 days said a company that is not qualified, is not even registered, supplied medicine worth 16 million kwacha. And the medicines, as soon as the medicine arrived, they expired the following month. That is a kind of looting that is taking place. So I heard that the president is not fighting corruption. The president is using the fight against corruption as a weapon, as a strong weapon against his political opponents. So join me. Let's hear your views. Let me configure this number. It was off so that you can participate. I promise that it will be a short broadcast. Tomorrow, we have our dear brother, Citizen First President, Honorable Hari Kalava. Come and hear him, come and hear his views, come and hear his vision. We'll be hosting him tomorrow, and we hope to start at 20 hours and tune in. Let's hear what he has for you. The lines are open. Help me discuss the issue of corruption. I think that the fight against corruption is a joke. In fact, I borrow the words of Fred Membe, who says, if the PF were looting, if the PF were engaged in corruption, they were pickpocketers. But now you have plunderers under this government, because the kind of corruption, the extent of corruption is sophisticated, it is detailed, and it is mad. They're either using the law or they're using sophisticated methods to loot both our national resources and the treasury. I saw our dear sister, Honorable Tasila Lungu. There's, let me just look for that video. There is something that has happened in Parliament where there was a point of order and they want the MP, they want a speaker to rule on the absence of Honorable Tasila Lungu. Honorable Tasila Lungu is mourning her father and she's still in South Africa. And why would anyone, we haven't buried yet, the whole nation knows what the issues are, but no, our friends, while they are looking for the body and they claim that they want to give dignified send-off to the late president, they do the opposite. They sue the family, they punish the family. In another breath, they say they want a body and they want to bury in a dignified manner. Yeah, the number is open. You can. I'm just looking for that point of order from for Honorable Tarsila that we can play it, and something that we can also discuss. I think it's inhuman. Someone who's mourning the late president hasn't been put to rest yet, and the delay has been caused partly by government that is refusing and has taken this matter to court. So how do you blame her? How do you blame someone who's mourning? How do you say it's let's just listen to this point of order.
You know me, I rarely rise to give a point of order unless in circumstances where it is compelling. And this particular one is very compelling. My point of order, Madam Speaker, is premised on Standing Orders number 243, which speaks to getting permission in order to be absent from the House as regards members of Parliament. Read together with Standing Order number 223, 1, 2, and 3. Failure to attend sittings. Madam Speaker, last week, the former First Lady, Mrs. Esther Lungu, submitted in a South African High Court that the former First Lady's family do not intend to come back to Zambia as they feel unsafe. One of the members of this House, who is also a member of that family, by the name of Mrs. Tarsila Lungu Mwansa, Member of Parliament for Chawama constituency, is also out there and a member of this family. Madam Speaker, I would like you to make a ruling on this. Is this House in order to consider Mrs. Tarsila Lungu Mwansa as a member of this House when she has no intention of coming back, as expressed in South Africa, depriving the people of Chawama representation, as it were? Madam Speaker, I need your serious ruling. I submit.
Order, honorable members. Order.
Brian Kambita, Zambezi East MP, is being mischievous. He knows that Honorable Tarsila Lungu is mourning in South Africa. Honorable Tarsila Lungu has not sworn any document before any court. She has not written any letter to the Speaker or to Chawama or anywhere else about her intention or her continued stay regarding either Chawama or her continued stay in South Africa. She is in deep mourning. The affidavit that Moses Brian Kambita, Honorable Brian Kambita, is referring to was sworn by the First Lady. And the First Lady didn't couch it in the manner that Brian Kambita is presenting to Parliament, because our views were very clear that in light of the harassment that is going on, one of the issues the family could look at is probably maybe to settle in South Africa. That is the First Lady speaking. It's not Tarsila Lungu speaking. But they want to capitalize on this and deprive the people of Chawama a member of Parliament. So Brian Kambita is political mischief, what we are seeing. But with this government, you never know. With this government, you just never know. So colleagues, the line is open and you can call for your contribution. We are discussing the fight against corruption. An audit report has been released by the president to law enforcement agencies. This report, in accordance with Public Audit Act, has not been given to Parliament, which represents you and me, where then this process can be determined. If it's just given quietly to law enforcement agencies, this will be against the law, number one. It will be strongly against the law. The law is very clear. The Public Audit Act says the report has to be given to the President and simultaneously to Parliament so that the Public Accounts Committee can discuss this matter. If they do it in the manner they are doing it, it will be a cover-up because they will pick and choose. And that's why I cited the case of those 5 who are already being investigated, the 5 ministers. They've never been suspended and the matter continues. Yeah. I've missed calls. Please call.
Ruling is reserved.
You know me, I rarely rise to give a point of order unless in circumstances where it is compelling. And this particular one is very compelling. My point of order, Madam Speaker, is premised on Standing Orders number 243.
My brother, just hold on.
Speaks to getting permission.
Let's kick off with the cause. I've got a call here. Let me just disconnect my Bluetooth so that our people can hear you. I've got Patrick Chilufya from the United Kingdom. He'll be contributing just shortly. Let me just switch off the Bluetooth because I kept this phone on Bluetooth. Patrick, you are our first caller. Please just briefly introduce yourself and make your contributions.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. And this is a very important topic because it robs all Zambians of their resources. My name is Patrick Chilufya, based in the UK. And Mwamba, it's a sham, really. Our president cannot fight corruption. And I'll briefly explain why. When we fought the PF, one of the reasons why we fought the PF was corruption. And when you look at the corruption in the PF and you look at the liberations of Dr. Gonzalez, the corruption in PF in terms of money is changed. Why am I saying our president cannot fight corruption? To start with, the president in his manifesto said he will fight corruption of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Is he doing that? Let's go. Permanent Secretary, the Secretary to Finance, Nkulukusa, said ZAMSA is a rotten system. He said it openly. So if ZAMSA is a rotten system, this is a while back. The president didn't do anything. The president is only firefighting because he's been exposed by Gonzalez, and it's because the Americans are saying we're going to withdraw our funding unless you show us that you're fighting corruption. Mr. Ambassador, our president has failed in fighting corruption because he's not a leader. Corruption is a symptom of bad leadership. So corruption, Mwamba, the president knew if there's a ministry which has been used as a cash cow by the criminals, is the Minister of Health. You remember 2008 under Mwanawasa government. Dr. Bulaya, who was the permanent secretary, was jailed for corruption. Kapoko, who was head of HR, was jailed for corruption. HH knew over 20 years ago that there was corruption in Minister of Health. In 2012, 2013, HH wrote to Sata, President Sata then, that Sylvia Masewa should be fired because Sylvia Masewa is corrupt. What happened? Fast forward, 2021, HH appoints Sylvia Masebo as Minister of Health, the ministry which has been a cash cow for criminals. So how do you fight corruption? So, my brother, corruption is a leadership issue. Why is corruption a leadership issue? Because a leader sets a tone for fighting corruption. HH cannot set a tone for fighting corruption. One, if he refused to declare his assets. Declaring assets is a sign of transparency. Is a sign that he's setting a tone to fight against corruption. Two, the people he has appointed into strategic positions. Masebo is one of them. And Mwamba, corruption requires institutional integrity. Corruption requires people with integrity, not cadres, to be appointed in strategic positions. Corruption requires systems in place. Mwamba, corruption requires the judiciary and the enforcement agencies that are autonomous. Mwamba, there was an issue of Dr. Kaba when he raised the whistle regarding the corruption in the chambers, government chambers. What happened? Instead of the president following up the matter, what did he do? He dissolved the anti-corruption board. The current anti-corruption, all these enforcement agencies are appointed by the president. So the current anti-corruption director is a member of the UPND. She was a permanent secretary. She's partisan. So how do you expect a partisan? She's educated, yes, but how do you expect a partisan person to fight corruption? And Mwamba, this audit report wouldn't have been commissioned if it wasn't for Ministry of Health. So, Mwamba, the fact that HH has failed in fighting corruption, when you look at the 7 pillars of good governance under the United Nations, one of them is fighting corruption. So he has failed both in governance and in leadership. So if he's not a leader, there's no way he can fight corruption. I rest my case.
Thank you very much. When the president received Transparency International, I think executive director, the one at international level, he said, look, we've set up the Economic and Financial Crimes Court. He says we are recovering assets. He says our ranking has improved under Transparency International. And he said we have enacted the Access to Information law. Let's examine this. The Economic and Financial Crimes doesn't fight recent corruption. Just look whoever is before that court. It's actually not an Economic and Financial Crimes Court. It's a court for former officials that served in the government of Patriotic Front. We've tabulated that the SEC has been investigating cases, ministers under President Hakainde Hichilema, and he will not act. He speaks very highly how there are no sacred cows, how you are on your own. That's not true. From the document we are seeing from Dr. O'Brien Kaba, he was investigating Thabo Kawana. The SEC were investigating Thabo Kawana. The president promoted Thabo Kawana. They were investigating the deputy army commander. He promoted the army commander, the deputy army commander as army commander. The president has not fired the 5 ministers that are under investigations. He is hiding and tucking this special audit report by hiding it under law enforcement agencies. And he knows the law enforcement agencies, according to that statutory instrument 1172, I think, reports to him. So, and as we saw from Dr. O'Brien Kaba, they actually even rarely report to the president. They report to their special assistants. on behalf of the president. Somehow, somewhere, the president is not available. And the special assistant, we don't even know if they even take those reports to the president. Dr. Aubrey and Kaba, on the dismissal of Tom Shamakamba, announced in there that when he went to see the president, there was, he went to, Tom Shamakamba went to report about the matter at the SEC, and there were assurances given by the special assistant on behalf of the president that Tom Shamakamba will be dismissed, will be fired. So you can see how lopsided the fight against corruption is. It's not, it's not serious. It's not being taken seriously. You can call us on 0973-0780-82 and participate in this matter. Natwishwana mumfo mwenso ababa na kuchipata, bali bakaka yesterday. For Catherine Impanza and Mary Lungu were jailed for 18 months to 24 months because they criticized the president. They accused the president of killing his predecessor. They said, Mr. President, because you didn't allow your predecessor to go to hospital on time, you are the one that has caused the death of the president. Those kids have been given very harsh sentences. They had issued a TikTok video, and that issued the TikTok video. I've got a caller here. Caller, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
I choose to keep. Good evening. Ambassador, what is happening in the country, it is something that we are all saddened. Not long ago, the Ministry of Health, under the leadership of HH and the minister by then Masebo, we have seen a lot of corruption, such as cases at the Ministry of Health. There was two permanent secretaries who were fired, but no case has been opened against those permanent secretaries. Ambassador, we are very much aware that even some UPND guys went and complained against Masebo, and the president was very happy that that information reached him, and he promised those people who went to report against Masebo that I will fire her. To the surprise, she walked in the meeting where they were holding a meeting from, and the president said, "My favorite minister," and everyone was shocked. Now you can imagine the president how all the mud of 60 containers of drugs at the Ministry of Health, instead of firing that minister, he further transferred her to another ministry. Sir, Wakinde is there to fight the people who served under ECL, not any other, not his ministers, not his people. And he himself is a corrupt president, we all know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The lines are open. We are discussing the fight against corruption. It's a sham. The president says he has opened the Economic and Financial Crimes Court. We know that court, first, the way it was set up was not proper, because it's supposed to be set up properly, but it was set up by the Chief Justice, and somehow, it has just become a court for former PF officials. None of the people under President Hakainde Hichilema who have been accused of corruption have been taken to that court. He says he's recovered assets. Of course, he could have recovered some assets, but also that's just punishment to punish political opponents and his predecessor. That Transparency International's ranking has improved. That's what he says. Well, we'll continue to monitor that. We've seen a lot of the record of the president improve in every sector internationally, including the what they are saying is growth rate of 6%. We know those figures are bogus, but he says that his ranking has improved. Then access to information bill, which they've never, they just passed it and they've shelved it. It's not been actualized. So you can call on 0973078082. That's the discussion today. A special audit was done. Someone in the comments says it was ordered by the president. No, it wasn't ordered by the president. It was ordered by the owners of the money. They've been calling for this audit, and finally, if you remember, in fact, I've got a video of Honorable Sylvia Masebo when they caught her with the 63 containers. She was assuring the cooperating partners that maybe we should do an audit. The cooperating partners said, we've always demanded for an audit. And we have a man who should do an audit who's at the National Audit Office, Dr. Mwamba. But the donors said, no, not this man. We want an independent audit, although commissioned by the Auditor General. So an independent audit was done by Price Waterhouse. And this report hasn't been given to the public. It hasn't been given to Parliament as required by the Public Audit Act of 2016. And it was only given to law enforcement agencies. And we know the law enforcement agencies, nothing will be done. Like nothing has been done over the 5 ministers that were under investigations. And now there's even a new management at the SEC. In other developments, the Law Association of Zambia has taken the Speaker of the National Assembly to court. They want the Speaker to. They want a court to declare that the Speaker's decision to attempt to keep live Bill 7 in Parliament, despite the clear directives from court, is not only a traverse but unconstitutional. They want that declaration done. And the Speaker is acting like she's above the law, and I'm glad that someone has taken her to court. Freedom of expression is under assault. Under assault. Oh, I think I've got another caller. Sir, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Honorable. This is Don Oscar. I'm calling from Rome.
Yes,
in
Father
Italy.
Oscar.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening, all the viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just called on two items. I think you are talking about the fight against corruption under the UPND, and the second item I'd love to say a word is the question raised in Parliament regarding the seat of Honorable Tasila Lungu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for against the corruption, Honorable Mwamba, we have reached the 4th year. This is the 4th year of the UPND government. So in the 4th year, as you have also observed, many young people now, I think they are scared because of the cybercrime law, and they are scared of other things, which they might not even say on this platform. And I have understood the youth decision to stay quiet somehow. I have understood them. Hopefully, this is not going to be permanent. Hopefully, they can come back to themselves and get courage and continue speaking. So on the corruption, it is just too late. That's unfortunately, I have to say, unfortunately, it has been now too late. So whatever might be some changes done in the government from now until we go for the elections next year might be only maybe controlling or cover up or things like that. because in the fourth year, Honorable Mwamba, you cannot put on measures, strict measures to start and correct grave mistakes, serious mistakes, because corruption is the mother of evil in any country, not only in Zambia, in any country. If you do not fight corruption, then the resources, the money goes just to a few people who take advantage of the money which is intended to be divided by the Zambian people. In this case, we have 21 millions of Zambians, and you just hear that a lot of money is being shared now amongst a few. Can this few be the famous clique of thieves that President Hakainde Hichilema identified in his first year of presidency? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. The only bad thing or sad thing is our president has never disclosed who are part of those clique of thieves who stay in Lusaka. It remains as a question. We will remain with that question. So it's too late for me, even though I have to appreciate if he starts, maybe it's correct. They say better late than never. So maybe better late than never, but according to me, it's just too late. And there's something which is very serious, which really has disappointed me, is when they were refusing that there was no corruption in the UPND government. This has been a disappointment. We started second year, single-sourced contracts. We started completely. The Zambian people, they have been crying. Can our president, first of all, go to State House? One of the reasons the Zambian people were saying, can the president go to State House, was to have a facility for us to watch our president, to observe who are his clients, who are his visitors. That is one of the reasons. Just as a reason of saying, well, State House, no, I have a beautiful house, I have a better place than State. No, that is not the reason. The Zambian people, why they were saying, can we have our president go and stay at State House? Your Excellency, President Hakainde Hichilema, one of the reasons they wanted you to State House was to watch who are the people and what time are the people coming to see our president, and how long. Second, they said, if our president is so serious, I am one of those people, President Hakainde Hichilema, I'm one of those people who said, if our president is very serious to fight corruption, let our president start by declaring his assets. It's me. I'm one of those who said it. For the love of our country, we said it not because we hate, I don't hate anyone myself, but I have mentioned, let me remind the Zambian people, Honorable Mwamba, I remind you, maybe also you have forgotten. One day, I think it was in the 2022, I even showed the document which we use in Europe. It's called Finance Document number 24, F24 document. That's Finance Document number 24. What is this Finance Document number 24 about? It's about the declaration of assets of any citizen in Europe. You are obliged. I gave that example saying, if we don't have any documents in Zambia, please, the Ministry of Finance, go and Google F24. You will find it's going to help you. It was going to help to Zambia. That you see, when I'm driving a Ferrari here, the police, they stop me. They will ask me, driving license, document of the vehicle. Sir, how much do you get in a year? I say, okay, I get $10,000, 10,000 euros. Then says, did you buy the Ferrari by yourself? And I answer, yes. How can you buy a Ferrari if you get $10,000, 10,000 euros a year? How possible can it be? So if I do not explain how I have managed, they will confiscate that vehicle there and then at a roadblock. Because the document F24 should explain where I get the excess money. If I win, I win lotto, I have to declare. I won lotto 1 million, 1.5 million. I have to declare so that the police, they know. I have 1.5 million because I won lotto. If I don't declare, I will be arrested. Recently, our coach, one of our former coaches in the squad that I am a supporter here in Italy, it's AC Milan. One of our former coaches called Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti. He went to Real Madrid and he was coaching also Real Madrid. From Real Madrid now he has gone to become now the Brazilian coach. Carlo Ancelotti has been summoned in Spain because of he failed to declare his assets in 1 or 2 years. He has been in Spain. So they have summoned him today when he is now the coach of Brazil, national team Brazil. So the Spanish government has summoned Carlo Ancelotti to say, come on, can you come and explain the year X or Y? Why didn't you declare the assets? So serious. And that is the beginning of transparency. So when we asked, Your Excellency, can you show the way? Show your ministers the way. Declare your assets. Mr. Mwamba, the UPND have always been answering, no, there is no obligation. There is no obligation for the president to declare. Say, hey, come on. Of course, you can say there is no obligation, but the president has promised the Zambian people, I want to be so serious insofar as corruption is concerned. In English, when I was a boy at Malela Primary School, I learned something which they were saying, charity begins at home. They were teaching me, the teachers. Charity begins at home. So they were saying, can you polish your shoes? Stand up, wear very well. Have you taken a bath? Have you taken a shower? They were teaching me, charity begins at home. If at home, I don't begin, I don't show an example, then we have this disaster. We have the disaster where now even the Anti-Corruption Commission might not find it easy to publicize the scandals that they are investigating. They'll find it very difficult now. What about if they are going to publicize the scandals of the land issue in Mufumbwe, land issue in Mufumbwe, 12th of August, publicity under the Vice President's disaster management, 12th of July to 13th of August, the publicity. We are giving 100 farmlands in Mufumbwe. So can the particular people who have been selected apply for this 100 farmlands in Mufumbwe? And now you understand, Mr. Mwamba, Mufumbwe, there is gold. Question: who are those owners who applied for land last year, 2024, between 12th of July and 13th of August? Who are those selected members who were given 100 farmland in Mufumbwe? If I talk about a farmland, we are going to talk in terms of 100 hectares maybe for the farmland. So multiply 100 hectares per farmland multiplied by 100 farmlands. It's a lot of land. So who are those selected people who were given that land?
Yeah.
This is what we are talking about now. We have come at this end. So complicated now to fight corruption. It's complicated for the president. Unfortunately, that also we have been exposed by an American ambassador. This is very bad. This is very bad. I'm a Zambian. So such a thing, I cannot even rejoice. I feel so embarrassed. Wow. What is the reason? Why do we have now an American to expose malpractices, corruption in our country? Because they told the Zambian people not to speak. The cybercrime bill, if at all our president could have refused to sign, these scandals, the Zambian people are the ones who are going to tell the president, Your Excellency, people are stealing. The Zambian people are the ones who are going to put recordings, audios on internet, Your Excellency, Yakainde Chilema. Zambian people could have sent you audios. They are stealing here. They are stealing there. Now you have told the Zambian people, if you don't have evidence, if you don't have what to back up, we will arrest you. And the Zambian people have kept quiet. Only a foreigner, this is so embarrassing for me. A foreigner to come and expose us. Terrible. On Tasila Lungu, Honorable Tasila Lungu, the only thing I can say is this. President Hakainde Hichilema last week was talking to Gonzalez, and he said, I think this is the time that we can now change a coin, we can flip the coin and make good relationship between Zambia and the United States. And our president said, he told Gonzalez, we are looking in terms of the corruption, serious cases, we are looking in terms of that one. And we are going to communicate with you, our partners, so that we can have trust. Businessmen from America can now trust our government and invest in our country. So he explained, I've not been moving recently. I've not made even international visits because we are still mourning our former president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So that is the reason why I could not go to trade fair. That's the reason why I could not make public engagement recently. So now, when the president said this to the Zambian people, to Gonzalez, and I think he talked to the Zambian people, it is enough. This information, it is enough to convince or to answer, to help our mother, Vanelli Muti, in Parliament, to understand that Tasila Lungu is mourning her father. So if Tasila is mourning her father, and if President Hakainde Hichilema has cancelled some of his engagement in public because he's mourning ECL, then Tasila Lungu is in order to stay in South Africa and mourn his father, her father, until they can bury ECL's body. So for me, on that question, my answer is there is nothing wrong that Tasila Lungu has done. And as long as they are waiting to bury her father because one of the government officials sued that family and the case is in courts. So I would say that Tasila Lungu is in order to keep her position as member of parliament, regardless of the prolonged absence from work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, comrade, thank you. That was Father Oscar from Italy, Donosco from Italy. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, you are through to the program. Hello, can you hear me? Hope we don't have that program again. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
My brother, proceed to make your contributions.
I'm Mr. Zulu from Chipata, Eastern Province. It's just a concern. It's just, yes, I can hear you, Ambassador. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You're fine.
I can hear you. I can. Yeah, I'm Mr. Zulu Renard, calling from. Sure. Mine is just a concern. I'll speak in Nyanja so that many people can understand, because not all the people understand the English in Zambia. So I'll speak in. Yeah. So chana nikamba hapo Ambassador Mwamba. I think ziko yatu yaonongeka. Mr. HH duped us. The things that he promised us Zambians when he was in opposition and the things that he's doing now are totally different. And many Zambians on the ground are disappointed with him, especially people from the east and from the Bembaland. You're not forgetting Copper Belt. You see how members of the parliament from these regions that I've mentioned are being jailed, are being, detained without proper charges. I think it's time Zambians have to unite, because if ziko tizairekerera sochabe na noshita allow president echechi kuti apitirize kulamulira beyond 2026 nechibintu vizankhala wese, especially for us from these three regions that I'm from mentioning. Chene chinidabwisa Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba nichakuti each and every day we hear people from Southern Province insulting people from Eastern, from Bembaland, from Copper Belt, and our Tusilamangiwa, vaenda freely. We have heard so many people that have insulted Bembas, so many people that have insulted the Easterners, so many people that have insulted the ECL. Even in his death, people are still insulting him. From Southern Province, from UPND party, from UPND government, but nothing has been done. But the way they are listing people for saying just, silly things against the special ones. I call Tongas as the special ones because what is happening in Zambia is something that the Montalians know dabwa. Lero bagwira binwe ompondo. For something that you can't understand. No one can understand. Lero futi vangenesa vachimba kambwi for something that silly cases. So one thing before I come to a conclusion, one thing that I want to ask from the people of Eastern Province, I don't know if I offend you or offend the other people that are following you, but what I'm going to say is the fact. I'm advising the people from Eastern Province, the people from Copper Belt, the people from Northern Province, the people from Eastern. Please, let's unite. if there is a right time for us to unite, is now. UPND must go. HH has brought divisions. HH has divided us. We are being governed by tribalism and nepotism. And anyone who mentions the word Tonga by justifying what is happening in the country is being arrested. So the time to unite is now. Tifanika iboma ifanike chokepo ya UPND 2026 tichosepo iende. They have divided us. I'm not sure that it's all the people from Southern Province or Western Province or from Central Province that are supporting this. They are there. They are there. They are there. There are Tongas that are against whatever is happening right now. There are Westerners that are against what is happening right now. I know. So my request goes to the people that are reasonable, people that can reason with what I'm saying now. Please, let's unite.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's allow other callers. Thank you.
He came to divide this country. He came for vengeance. He came to fight his opponents. They never came to save the people of Zambia. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. What have they fixed? They promised to fix things. HH in opposition promised to fix the economy, promised to fix where he pointed, where he lied to the Zambian people that there were lacunas. But today, what's happening? He has spent the whole 4 years fighting his opponent. Fighting his
Thank you, my brother.
opponent.
Thank you. Let's allow other callers quickly. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, this is your brother, and I am Benning.
Yes.
I'm not in my normal self. I am Benning.
Mm-hmm.
Very badly.
Yeah.
And the subject to say what the other caller was saying, I belong to a group. I've always belonged from school.
Mm-hmm.
This group is 90% Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time today, if I send you the screenshots of what I sent to our group, I said, we have had enough. We are all going to 60 years, and I said, I've had enough of your group. We have been shut down. We have been polite. I fought against my own blood. You know that. My own blood, including you, including my own brothers, blood brothers, to get them out because of ethics.
Yeah.
And today I told them, we have had enough of you.
Why did you tell them that?
I'm Benning, I've never...
Why did you tell them that? Why did you tell them that we have enough of you? Why were you putting them like they were not ethical on the basis of tribe?
Because I told them that me, they all know, and they even used to ask. They even used to ask to say, how can you be so relentless when even Felix Mutati is your blood uncle? When I was fighting PF, Isaac was working for ECL. I said, because I don't like what the PF is doing.
Isaac Chipampe, the spokesperson to the late president, is your friend or you are related to him?
My blood brother.
He's your brother, yet you were fighting his boss.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many more. So I am Benning. I'm sorry I've come out like this today.
So what do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? Do you think that they are burying their heads in the sand because of the tribe and they're not coming?
They are always burying their heads in the sand, and believe me or not, what you will see, I will send to you. Even one of them, the head has come and said, I actually agree. We are going to see our own damage after HH is out. Then we'll see our own damage. One of them, a very senior person, has actually just written. He says, I agree. Me, I'm not going to go with this. I know these sentiments are very strong. We've been together for over 40 years, but I know this I'm not going to argue with at any point. And it seems to be a general thing with these people.
Yeah.
And I said, every one of my aunties, every one of my father's young sisters and what, they are married to the most beautiful people from Southern Province, with the most beautiful nieces. What is wrong with the generality of these people? You know, I'm going to go out in public, and if you are going to head a movement for being well, you head it. We are going to find a way to push it. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Like we are reaching the limits. You can't, because you know, where they just, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
In fact, ever tukana no kutukana. Starting from the president, our president is the one. Kasonde has called him a criminal on about 7. I've been cutting out clips. He's called him a criminal on about 7 times, 7 different things. Why isn't Kasonde inside? Because it's true. Because ingachati nenga bali mukaka. So the man is a criminal. How is he going to fight corruption? He's just there to protect now what is going to happen to him after he leaves. Same like Nelimut, they're all there to protect themselves after they leave. I think we are having enough. This movement, I think now I'm going to get just involved. If you're you know, no, we've had enough.
Thank you, my dear brother. That is that is the anger being expressed by many people when they see the inaction of the president. All he does is just issue statements, or he will speak that there are no sacred cows, yet the looting continues. I've just given you examples. If you look at the documents filed by Dr. O'Brien Kaba in the defamation case of Tom Shamakamba, former Director General, and the Daily Nation, he has submitted documents of people that were being investigated and nothing was done. Our dear brother Tabo Kawana, he was a director at the time when he was being investigated by the SEC. The president continued to even promote him. This is the same position with the Deputy Army Commander. He was under investigation over the matter regarding the procurement of that Central African Republic United Nations hospital. And there were some funds that came in his account. What did the president do? He promoted him. He's now the Zambia Army Commander. The SEC has said they are investigating 5 ministers, 1 provincial minister, 4 cabinet ministers. What did the president do? He's never suspended them. He's never released them. Yet he says if he's fighting corruption. He will tell you, I set up the Economic and Financial Crimes Court. Who does it prosecute? Only PF officials. He says there's recovery of assets. What about these people that received monies in their accounts? Why didn't you move to seize those monies? He says the ranking under Transparency International. Let me take some more calls because we want to close early today. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions. You are on. Please make your contributions. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Why did you move to seize those monies?
Hello.
Transparency International. Let me take some more calls.
The trouble is people listen to the broadcast. There's a lag in the broadcast. You are live. Please make your contributions. But John from UK, make your contributions quickly.
You are on, please make your contributions. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello?
We can hear you. Proceed. We can hear you. Proceed. We can hear you. You are live. Please proceed.
Parliament, I think itaikuete nchito so nde brema abama MPs ama opposition. Hello?
We can hear you, my brother. Proceed. Continue.
You are live. Please proceed.
I think in the one day mama MPs, ama opposition in ama independent. The reason why inarandira so ngamwamo na twarambira pabena bomani ba malanji ba chitotela.
We can hear you, my brother. Proceed. Continue.
My advice to callers, as soon as I pick your line, just introduce yourself and speak. And if you switch off the other broadcast, I mean, if you, it will help. Mr. John, you are live. Make your contributions quickly.
Hello?
You are live, John. Please make your contribution.
Hello, Emmanuel Mwamba.
We can hear you, my brother.
Yes, Emmanuel Mwamba. Ndetumina kuno ku UK, newo John. Ine ndebule mama MPs aba MPs aba PF naba independent. The reason why ndeba bule meranga mama na kuli ba malanji ba boma ni Rusambo bachirangwa bachitotera bali bafyenga ila kesi yakwe bati babakambatike milandu yakwe bati ishirondoroeke paka bachita vakanti amasiti adeni papita time twasaisa kuli aba kuchipata bena nani kanya munia Zulu na ba mubongani na bena amasiti abo bachita vakanti ambanga mamwana abama MPs abama guys aba bafuire baba organize kwati ichiri paliwe echiri na pamunobe. So the best way abama guys bonse ama independent abana aba mu PF better bonse bachita resign because parliament itaire bomba.
Thank you.
Better bachita resign bonse pakwati kwa abama early election than if yambo kuchitige fyabupuba.
Thank you, my brother from the United Kingdom. Yeah, my advice is just when you come in, just when I pick your call, proceed to make your contribution. We are discussing the fight against corruption. And the previous caller says, look, he went to school in Southern Province and most of his friends are from Southern Province. And he says most of his friends and brothers are from Southern Province. He's echoing the frustration that was penned by Sishua in his letter yesterday. I know supporters of President Hakainde Hichilema called that letter tribal, but Sishua called out the people from the strongholds of the president, Northwestern, Western, and Southern Province. They said, our leader, your leader, is doing things against our country. He's practicing tribalism, he's stealing, he's looting, he's engaged in human rights abuses, but you are silent. How can you betray your own country like that? And Sishua's letter was strong. And this gentleman also has similar issues. Good evening. Please tell us your name and make your contribution.
Hello, Mr. Mwamba. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. I'm hoping that you are able to get me. Thank you very much. Though I can still get some feedback that you are behind me. So now, thank you very much. So what I'm going to contribute on this evening, by the way, I am Joseph Giorgio calling you within Lusaka. So now the thing is that if we are to look at the pattern that the UPND government is using to govern our country, I think the pattern is wrong. Looking at the fact that Zambia is a Christian nation and we believe that Zambia is a democratic country.
Uh-oh, have we lost you? Okay, it says reconnecting. Maybe just call back. So I was saying the previous caller went to school in Southern Province and most of his friends are from Southern Province. And he's very clear. He supported the UPND in the last general election in 2021. And he says he did this against most of his brothers that were in office, including someone who was serving at State House to the president is his young brother or cousin. But he was so strong in supporting President Hakainde Hichilema. And he says today he wrote a very strong statement. I think there must have been debate about corruption and maybe the ZAMSA audit report. And our colleagues, the colleagues from Southern Province on his group were quiet. So he wrote to them a very strong statement. And he says, I think you Tongas are getting overboard with this. Talking about former thieves, of course, is important. And those cases must be dealt with and cleared. But what about these, he used a very strong term, stealing relatives of yours? Statistics show that corruption has increased by 2,500%. Yet you won't talk about it, yet you won't condemn it. Most of my aunties and my sisters are married to your tribe, to my, to your tribe and to your people. But you will not be patriotic, you will not support the cause of Zambia. Then, and he talks about the contributions he made to the last election for President Hakainde Hichilema. And I'm saying Dr. Sishua wrote a similar letter to his brothers and sisters and to his, there's a call here. Good day, please tell us your name and where you are calling from. If there is a lag, just proceed, we can hear you. Hello, you are live. Please make your contribution. I can hear you. You are fidgeting with the phone. Please make your contributions.
Hello, Honorable Mwamba.
Please proceed to make your contributions.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Mwanda. I'm calling from the United States of America. Yes, my contribution is on the topic that you've raised on your platform. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, we lost a caller. Caller, when you come online, just there's been a complaint about the volume of callers because I use the phone and put it to the microphone. So I have inserted this SIM card in the system so that you're calling through the system. So if there's a lag, just introduce yourself and make your contributions. We can hear you very, very clearly. I have to check why when I'm speaking to you, you can't hear me. Probably I need to sort out the microphone to the phone, and it's in the system. You have to forgive me. But we can hear you very clearly. When you come online, just introduce yourself and make your contributions. We can hear you very, very clearly. So I was talking about this letter that has been penned by Dr. Sishua, where he thinks that the stronghold of President Hakainde Hichilema have stood steadfast. Instead of condemning him, correcting him, they've chosen to be either quiet or be praise singers. And he thinks that this is not healthy for our country and that you cannot make a decision on the basis of tribe. You have to be loyal to our country. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and proceed to make your contributions. Hello, we can hear you. Please proceed to make your contributions. Okay, we seem to have a problem with this system. Like I've advised, when you come online and you can hear me, just proceed to make the contributions. We can hear you very, very clearly. We can hear you very, very clearly. We'll invite you tomorrow. We'll be hosting Citizen First President Harry Kalaba. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions. Yes, you are live. Please proceed.
Yes, you can hear me very clearly, but me, I can't hear you. So you are breaking somehow. Anyway, let me just... Yes, Ambassador Mwamba, washikwali hapa Madirango mapasanti hapa. Good evening, Mr. Mwamba. Yeah, I'm sure they... Okay.
We can hear you, my brother. Just proceed.
I'm sure it's evening there in USA, 17, 18, somewhere there. Anyway, let me go ahead. Mwamba, abantu mulepokerera amakozi abengi abantu baba mufyalo nga imwe mulando nshi abantu abengi Mwamba tetulande fingi na balibirwa patunwa mulando nefundi. There's a problem.
Oh, we lost that caller. Okay. I'm just waiting for a few. We'll close that in the next 6-7 minutes. I'll take the last 3-4 callers so that we need to prepare for tomorrow's broadcast with Honorable Harry Kalaba. We'll invite you to come. Yesterday we hosted Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba, Nkana East Member of Parliament and President of Ichaba Iche, leader of Ichaba Iche. Tomorrow we'll be hosting Honorable Harry Kalaba, and I'm encouraging many leaders in the opposition, come to the platform. Let's discuss your views, your vision, and just how Zambians need to work together to ensure that we remove the issues of corruption, the issues of abuse of office, and the looting that is taking place. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Nkana East Member of Parliament and President of Ichaba Iche.
Please proceed to make your contributions.
Tomorrow we'll be hosting Honorable Harry Kalawanda Minka.
Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. You are online. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Hello, Honorable Mwamba. I believe you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I just want to make a contribution on the topic that you've posted. My name is Mwanda once more, calling from the United States of America. I want to talk about the corruption that is happening in the United Party for National Development, UPND. You cannot fight corruption rhetorically. One thing I have noticed is that our current president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is very good at talking, and he doesn't act according to the way he talks. Before and during elections, the president made a lot of promises, which up to now, the president has not lived up to those promises. Why is there rampant corruption in our country? It's not just with the UPND government or the PF government. One thing that has contributed to high levels of corruption in our country is, one, we have weaker laws. There is need to strengthen our laws in our country. As long as we are electing leaders who instead are supposed to serve the interests of the Zambian people and the public at large, they end up mismanaging the resources that are meant to develop the nation. Zambia will never go anywhere if our laws are not stiffened. People in public institutions are supposed to be kept somehow by the law. And if the law is weak, trust me, corruption is never going to end. Our laws are weak. There are bad systems. We have these three hands of government which are not functional because there is interference in these three hands of government, which is the judiciary, the executive, the legislature. There is interference. And in as much as these three institutions of government are not working the way they are supposed to work, corruption will never end. Let's begin by strengthening our laws, getting rid of bad systems, which we all know that there are bad systems in government today. Look at the issues in the Ministry of Health. Those are a result of bad systems. So there is need to get rid of those bad systems. If we do not do that, corruption is never going to end. We are going to vote in this government, vote out this government, as long as we have laws that are weak, that are supposed to keep politicians from involving themselves in corrupt activities, corruption will never end. I, for one, am one person that supported the UPND government before they came into power. The current president at the moment made a lot of promises that even I, as a youth then, I was convinced to say, this is the person that is going to take us somewhere. But look at what is happening in our country now. It's a very sad story. So much needs to be done. The president needs to pull up his socks and not just come in to the media and just make promises without actions. Promises without actions are not going to fight corruption. The law is not supposed to be biased. The law is supposed to be equal. Whether someone who is found wanting belongs to the opposition party or is close to the president, that person needs to be prosecuted. The same way a common Zambian is going to be prosecuted. I just wanted to make this small submission. That's my thought about the topic you've raised. Thank you so much, Honorable Mwamba, for this topic that you've brought on your platform. And I must mention that if you get back to me, you might save my number. I believe we are in the same state. I would love to get to meet you, Honorable Mwamba. Thank you so much. That's my
Thank you. I think we got you clearly. I'm taking the last two numbers and we call it a day. Tomorrow we have a big one. We have Honorable Harry Kalaba, who's coming on this platform. We'll be discussing various issues. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is a big one, and we'll be hosting President Harry Kalaba of Citizen First. So I'm taking your last calls before we close the program. There are a lot of people calling from the diaspora, and the diaspora is the savior of our people because our people are failing to speak. So the diaspora is a savior. My dear brother, Kasonde Mwenda has just issued a statement where he has named the people in the audit. I hope, my brother, you have a copy. Share the copy with us so that we can name and shape them. He says everyone is involved in this corruption. He has mentioned the Attorney General, of course, Honorable Sylvia Masevo. He has mentioned a few people at State House, PS from Ministry of Health, Dr. Kachinga, Dr. Nyasulu from ZAMSA, and a company called Mkushi Ventures, who were given 16 million kwacha worth of medicine when the company was not registered anywhere. And when the medicine arrived worth 16 million kwacha, the medicine expired before it could even be distributed. So, my dear brother, Kasonde Mwenda has made a comment about that brilliant statement. Okay, I guess that's all for today. Today we are discussing the issue of corruption. Make a date with us tomorrow as we host Honorable Harry Kalaba, our Citizen First President. He'll be here to shed his light and his vision, and will continue to catalog and host these leaders. We're discussing the issue of corruption, how President Hakainde Hichilema has turned the noble fight against corruption into a sham, because he will not fight current corruption. He will not subject. Look at one of his biggest acts of corruption in his government was the Sujilite scandal. Where is the Sujilite? And where is that Sujilite worth millions of dollars, that truck? Where is it? Who has been prosecuted? They just started the matters, and they know Zambians forget about these key issues, and the matters died. One of the biggest scandals in our country, the Sujilite scandal. What about the gold scandal? The plane was released. The entire plane forfeited to the state by acts of our laws, forfeited to the state. It was released, and all the people from Egypt were released. They rely on our people because our people forget the most important things. We do forget. Now they want a seat of Honorable Tasila Lungu, who is mourning her father, whose father hasn't even been put to rest yet. The president said he's not working, he's failed to work. He says he has not moved out of State House. He has limited his movements because he's mourning the late president. Yet they are suing the family, yet they want a seat. Brian Kambita, Zambezi East MP, was being mischievous in Parliament by saying that Honorable Tasila Lungu said she doesn't want to come to Zambia. Honorable Tasila Lungu has never said that. So, good day, and we will speak to you tomorrow as we host Honorable Harry Kalava. God bless you.
You know me, I rarely rise to give a point of order unless in circumstances where it is compelling. And this particular one is very compelling. My point of order, Madam Speaker, is premised on Standing Orders number 243, which speaks to getting permission in order to be absent from the House as regards members of Parliament. Read together with Standing Order number 223, 1, 2, and 3. Failure to attend sittings. Madam Speaker, last week, the former First Lady, Mrs. Esther Lungu, submitted in a South African High Court that the former First Lady's family do not intend to come back to Zambia as they feel unsafe. One of the members of this House, who is also a member of that family, by the name of Mrs. Tasila Lungu Mwansa, Member of Parliament for Chawama constituency, is also out there and a member of this family. Madam Speaker, I would like you to make a ruling on this. Is this House in order to consider Mrs. Tasila Lungu Mwansa as a member of this House when she has no intention of coming back, as expressed in South Africa, depriving the people of Chawama representation, as it were? Madam Speaker, I need your serious ruling. I submit.